It's no secret that Google is the most visited website on the internet. It gets over 6 billion searches every day. But what you may not know is that the second most visited website on the internet and the second biggest search engine is not Bing or DuckDuckGo or Yahoo. It's actually YouTube. YouTube gets 3 billion searches a day. So if Google exists, why do we need YouTube? If people can look things up on Google, why would they go to YouTube instead? Well, because people search for things differently in those two places. So if I'm curious how a snowblower works, I'm probably going to go to Google and try to teach myself about small gas engines. But if I am standing in the snow with my cold gloved hands and the snowblower won't start, I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna look up the exact model of my snowblower and watch the video that tells me how many times I have to press that damn little primer button to make it work. And the same is true across many different industries, not just snowblower tutorials. The way that people search across these different platforms is different. So if you're a content creator, how do you know what you should create for Google and in your blog post, your written content, and what you should create in your video content to go on YouTube? So that's what I'm going to explain in this video. I'm going to show you a free tool that you can use that will help you figure out which of your content should go into Google, which should go to YouTube, and how you can figure out what exactly you should be creating. So stay tuned and I'll walk you right through it. Hi, I'm Meg Casebolt, the founder of Love It First Search, where we help online entrepreneurs to create content that will show up in search results, whether that's Google, YouTube, anywhere, and take those new readers and viewers and turn them into leads, subscribers, and sales. If you're creating content for YouTube, it can be really time consuming. Not only are you taking the time to record and edit and upload and optimize, but you also want to make sure that the topic that you're talking about is something that people are looking for on YouTube. I've already talked about how much I love Google Trends as a way to see how people behave differently, whether that's over a specific time period, over a specific geographic region, how different keywords can compare to each other in kind of a head-to-head, battle competition. But Google Trends can also be an incredibly powerful tool to look not just at what people are searching for on Google, but what they're searching for on YouTube, because Google owns YouTube, so it can get that same data and share it with us in the same powerful way through Google Trends. So let me show you that now. All right, so here we are. I've shown you before how you can use the tool for Google Trends to compare different keywords and different search terms. But what I want to show you specifically today is how these different search terms can show up differently based on what your filters look like. So you can see here that the default, because I'm in the United States, is to include just traffic in the United States and search in the United States. The default is the past 12 months, but I'm going to take a look and show you what it looks like worldwide over the past 5 years. So the ways that people search for things are different on different platforms in different locations based on a lot of different variables. So you can see here, we'll start with this down here, that, kind of North America and the Americans in general have over the past 5 years been pretty Facebook obsessed, whereas over in Russia and India and Saudi Arabia, there's much more traffic happening on YouTube and much more search around YouTube. And you can see how even within different countries in the same area, the interest levels are slightly different. So you can take a look at how people behave differently based on their locations, which can be fascinating if you're trying to search for behavior in a specific location. And we're still looking at Google search here. So you can see that in 2016, there were a lot of people looking for information about Facebook, a fairly good number on Instagram, and basically zero on TikTok. TikTok didn't exist at the beginning of this search term, so you can kind of see it start to rise here. And by the end, we're getting about 2 overall. So about 2% of what the total was for what people were looking for Facebook in March 2016. But what I want to show you here
is when you come up here, you have the option to change one of your filters from web search to just looking for images or news or shopping. Or here's what we're talking about today, YouTube search. And when I click to YouTube, you'll see very different trends happening here. Instead of Facebook being the top searched for platform across all these different platforms, actually the number of things that people are searching for is different, and the trends have changed quite a bit. Facebook is still our blue line, but way fewer people are looking for information on Facebook, on YouTube, than they are for YouTube specific. It looks like a lot of people look for YouTube specific information in December every year. So that might be part of your strategy if you're talking about social media. It looks like Instagram, which is our red one, is slowly increasing in terms of our YouTube searches, but TikTok, that took off over the past 5 years. It was at less than 1% of the overall traffic that we're talking about here in 2017, and now it is the highest performing platform over the last few weeks. So that is a fascinating way to think about if you are creating different content for YouTube versus Google. You want to talk on video platforms about video. You want to talk on written platforms about written, and kind of just be aware that people are searching for different things in different locations. If we zoom in and we take a look not at the past 5 years, but at the past 30 days, we can also get some really valuable information here. And that's one of the coolest things about looking at Google Trends for YouTube search results is you can see the trends that are happening right now. So we're looking at the past 30 days, and more people have been looking for things like how to deactivate their Instagram account, and 350% more people are looking for how to unblock people on Instagram than they were last month. So this would be a great time to create a video about that. And this is a great way also to think about how you can get ahead of the trends in a way. So a lot of people right now, this is February 2020 when I'm recording this, and people are looking for the TikTok silhouette challenge. That's the thing that's happening right now, this minute on TikTok. So you might be able to tap into that, create a video that will get instant feedback using the YouTube algorithm, and that will continue to carry on bringing in YouTube traffic because you have that velocity that's part of the YouTube algorithm. So if you can find some of these rising queries, that can be really helpful in getting ahead of the trends and creating content that will then continue to show up for those search terms. Another thing that you may want to check out, which is a little bit less time sensitive, is you can look and see what the top related searches have been over a specific period of time. So when we're looking at this information and we're seeing the rising version, that means that over the 5-year time period, more people are looking for things like Facebook Marketplace or Facebook Dark Mode or Shopify Facebook ads. Those are things that are coming up now that weren't being searched for 5 years ago. But you can also take a look here and change this from rising to top. And so that will tell you over the past 5 years what have been the most popular search term over that time, and it'll show you over 25 different queries. So people have consistently been looking for Facebook Live and Facebook ads, and those are all things people are still looking for on YouTube. So even if you don't see it showing up in the rising settings, definitely check out the top settings.
So that is how you can use Google Trends to find really popular, timely, relevant keywords for your YouTube channel. But then once you have the keywords, what do you do with them? Make sure to download my free checklist below that is all about how to optimize your YouTube videos for SEO. And then once you've done that, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and come back next week where I'll share even more tips about how to find great keywords and use them to improve your search engine results. I'll see you then.